Jonathan was popping. All right, man. We here, man. Is there too much emphasis on marriage? When I was first presented this topic, I was kind of taken aback. Too much emphasis on marriage. One of the constructs that leads to people getting money, generational wealth. The construct that is best for kids to grow up in. The nuclear family, the nuclear household. Too much emphasis on marriage. When you hear that, bro, too much emphasis on marriage, is that a question? Like, have you thought about this before?
I have, since I was told I'm about to be an empty nester. um,
Mm-hmm.
I do think about it because the kids are getting older, and you do have to think about. I live next door to some elders, and I just think like when you get older, do you really want to be by yourself? And is marriage necessary to have a companion to share the rest of your life with?
Hmm. Okay. So did you answer that question when you asked yourself?
When I look at them, I feel like would Miss Pat be doing what she was doing for Mr. Walt if they weren't married? I think she would. And I think that that's important. I think that's more the compatibility and the companionship is more important than the actual marriage of getting together and being legally tied together.
Hmm. So what happens when Miss Pat about to kick the bucket and Mr. Walt can't make a decision? He got to call her son in from San Francisco to figure
Right.
out if they're gonna pull the plug on her dead brain.
Well, yeah, that's another piece of it, but there's always legal papers that you can put them people in place. I think Edmund and Oprah have that understanding.
Who
Oprah and Edmund.
cares?
Stedman.
Stedman,
Ma'am.
So,
Edmund, sorry. And then also, it's not just black people; it's white people too. What's the white couple, the actor and
don't
the actress?
care.
My point is,
It
people
was
do
Goldie
this
Hawn and Kurt.
right. Never been married
Love us.
legally, but people do it all the time. I just think that that is something that can be considered.
You named Oprah and Goldie Hawn. That's not an all the time thing. What you hear with black people is what? They've been shacking up so long, they call it what? What's that called?
Shacking up.
Common law
Common
marriage.
law. I can talk now. Common law.
Which is bullshit.
That's true.
Bro, don't start with me this early.
So what do you do when people get? What do you do in a situation where people are married and they never get a divorce, but they go create other families?
Bro, hush. Ms. Nay,
Yes.
when you read this, when it was presented to you, what was your first thought? Like, is there too much emphasis on marriage?
When I first read that, I did kind of feel like everybody overemphasizes marriage. And a lot of times people start families, like people think you have to start a family and just be married. But you think about it now, society, people are still having families and not getting married. And then I like the whole idea of companionship, because to Rose's point, when you get older, a lot of times people are not even saying, let me go be legally bound to somebody. A lot of times, I think marriage, I hate saying it like this, but I feel like a lot of times it sounds like a piece of paper. And I only say that because you're legally bound. It's like it's a document. So you're pretty much owned by the government. When I think about it, I never thought I'd be somebody that would say that, but I've been thinking about that a lot more. Like you can kind of create your own type of documentation. Like there's such thing as civil unions. I know you just said it, you don't like the whole common law marriage, but people are in these relationships for extended periods of time. And once you end up getting married, it's like, once you have that legal document, it kind of changes things. In my experience hearing from other people, because I've never been married.
You bought a house before, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you know how you get ratified?
Mm-hmm.
Is it yours yet?
Technically, no, I'm still paying taxes on it. So
ratified is like when you get the contract, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you put your 5K or 10K or 4K down, and then the inspections, and then the real, what's the process called, AJ? You remember?
Oh my gosh, what
between like the closing.
I was gonna say the assessment.
Right. So you got awarded, you won and all that. But until you get that last documentation, that don't mean shit.
Mm-hmm.
So documentation is important everywhere else in society. When you sign a paper for your job, when you sign the paper for your job, when you buying a house, right? When you sign your kids up for school, they get permission slips for field trips. But you mean to tell me you don't want to sign a piece of paper that gives you rights to this person, that shows the world that you're legally bound? That just not registering for me.
I don't know. I guess because I'm just looking at a lot of people and just listening to how people go through legal proceedings when it comes to divorce, and that sometimes is scary. Not to say that like I would sign up to just go be divorced, but I think about that. And honestly, if I were to say, okay, let me go be married, I would probably look at the whole prenup thing, and it would be that was it, appraisal. I kept saying assessment, but I would look at it like a prenup, and it would be me probably sign it and the person that I'm marrying to sign it. I would just look at stuff like that if I were to go down that path. But there's just so much legalities to it, and I think that's I've been kind of on the fence sometimes when I think about it.
Are you scary in the rest of your life?
No.
But you're scary when it comes to commitment to a marriage.
I think because I've already gone through legal proceedings, and it was basically like I was damn near married. I went through like everything like a married couple will go through, so that part kind of scares me sometimes.
Okay, that's honest. I just wonder why it's here and you're not pussy nowhere else. But I mean, it's one thing, you know what I'm saying? Black America with $2. Marriage is a tax break. That's why people are broke. Okay, so I just wanted to ask that question just to a couple of the ladies. Let's get into the first question. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. All right, so we got some mixed messaging about that, mixed feelings. Love. Is there an expiration date on a relationship?
I want to answer the first question. Go ahead.
That's all right. Everybody don't get what they want. So, you know, we smoke gray boots about being in a relationship for 13 years.
Okay.
Is there an expiration date on a relationship?
If you ultimately want to be married, dang, this is such a loaded question. And the reason why I wanted to connect it to the first question is because I think people put too much emphasis on the marriage and not the relationship. And that's why I wanted to connect it to the first one, because expiration date it should not be. If you all are happy, you're getting along, you're aligned, and you know everything is great, but your partner may take too long to propose and marry you, then that would cause someone's relationship to break up.
Mm-hmm.
But the relationship was going great. There were no problems. But because society and or your family has said, you have to get married. You know, it's this long. Y'all been together for 10 years. Y'all not together yet. You know, but if you're happy and everything is working, don't mess up a good relationship just to get that piece of paper. So, I mean, it's a hard question. Because if you want to be married, yes, their expiration date on being just a girlfriend or boyfriend. You told me yesterday, was it? I'm too old to have a boyfriend. I have a partner. When I date, I have a partner. I have a partner. I have a companion. I have a lover. That's what I call them.
And you're fine with him putting single on his paperwork?
His taxes.
You help him build a business. You help him buy a house, and you ain't entitled to none of that.
That's not true. Because because if we going on a loan together on the house is in both of our names. The deed is in both of our names. No,
you could be giving them money for it. No.
That's stupid.
I didn't say you was on a loan. I say you helped him buy a house.
Well, that any woman that does that is stupid. If you're going to help someone buy a house or build a business, you better make sure you get some equity in that. You better have some stake in that. That's wisdom.
But how can you guarantee? What if you are being a good partner, which for a man, but what if you being a good partner and you helping him grow? Right? That's what you're there for. You said you could be submissive and be a helpmeet, right? So you doing all that stuff. You're supposed to do. Hold your horses, sweetheart. You could do all this stuff that you said you gonna do because it's a partnership, and you putting in pain. And then he turned a corner on your ass, and you don't have no commitment on paper to Miss Nate, a fucking lawyer's point. and you saying that you okay with that? Go ahead.
Use wisdom. You can be a helpmate and still use wisdom. And that's the thing. Like, don't be a dummy and not use wisdom. So yes, be a great helpmate, be a great partner, be a great submissive woman. You're not a wife yet. Be a great submissive woman to your man. That doesn't mean you have to be unwise and make it to your detriment. So if you are helping him and y'all putting in years in this thing, and wait, are you listening? What's going on?
Bruh.
What's happening? I'm giving my answer.
I'm tired of eating salad. I'm on this diet and I've been eating salad every day, and now it's just more fucking salad.
I know you ain't eating them shoulders too big if you mean salad. That neck.
Hey, that's all. Don't make me take my shirt off.
Salad every day.
I'll tell you right now. The cash apps will go up like a motherfucker. I'm telling you.
Shut up, man.
Get it twisted. I'm telling you, man.
Do it.
I can't eat no more salad. Sis, relax, sis.
I'm just saying. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, hold your horses. Sis.
Yeah.
What you think? You gonna do now? Sis. Now we have an anecdotal example of this, don't we?
What part of this conversation?
That being with a nigga without a commitment, and then what happens?
Me?
No, not me and you per se. But come on, man. So you know how my daughters look, dark and light?
Yeah.
Where they come from?
Ooh, well, well, shit.
Bruh.
That's just what happened. You have no say. You had no say. Shit, you just there. Yeah. Funeral, no say. What you gonna do? I mean, okay, what's my opinion on this? I mean, yeah, I told a nigga the other day, yeah, I'm not being your girlfriend, nigga, get a ring. You know what I'm saying? I already dated him in the past. So if you coming back this time around, just get the ring and bring it. You know what I'm saying? So
you gonna say yes?
I'm sorry?
What'd you
say? What'd you say?
You gonna say yes?
Don't make it big. There's too much stuff going on.
You gonna say yes?
Dang,
Shit like that.
I told him, you bring the ring. I like it. Yes.
So there's an expiration date. You ain't dating that nigga no more. If he with it, he gotta come all the way.
That's correct. I told him verbally and on text message. Yes.
so you cut through the bullshit. Like, yo, if it's real, you got to show me it's real.
That's a fact. I showed him. I took a picture of certain ones I like. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Who? Which ones?
This is an individual from Florida.
Who? From Tampa?
No, not him. He's crazy.
He's still alive, right?
I don't even know if he's still alive. But
yeah, I'm about to say.
No, right. There's another one.
So sis said, yo, we already did that. That is expired. Don't come to me with that bullshit. What you think about that, Dana?
I think she's absolutely right. I think that if marriage is your goal, if that's what you want, then we're not going to sit here and waste a bunch of time. So if both parties agree that this is what we want and this is what the goal is, then what the fuck we playing around for? Do we go together or not? Are we getting married or not? But we don't need all of this gray area rigmarole. We're trying to sort shit out. Like we're doing it or we're not.
So what year? Hold on. OMAC with the $2. God said marriage is blessed, not society. Dana, how many years is too many? So if a dude you rocking with a dude, how long you gonna wait?
Before I leave, I feel like within the first year, you should know whether or not you want to marry the person. Within if we're not committed, if there's not a ring by year 5, then I'm out. And that's a stretch because that was 5, years ago. But at this big age, it might be more like 3. I don't know. So I may not wait 5 years. I'm gonna give it 3. I'm gonna say 3.
What if a man knows in less than a year? What if that was the norm and you wait 3 years, 4 years, 5 years? Is that a sign?
Yeah. It's a terrible sign because if you already know what's the holdup, what you waiting for?
Well,
there's a problem, there's something causing a delay. So we either need to address whatever that issue is or we need to move the fuck on. But if you already know that this is what it is and this is who you want to be with, then we don't need to waste any additional time.
Yeah.
Get to it.
Nay, what you got?
I was wondering because I'm listening to what you're saying, Dane. I'm like, can you really know a person in less than a year? I feel like you're gonna know the surface part of them. You won't know them like as deep. I feel like you need a little bit more time. Now, I'm not saying do like 10 years, but a little bit more time, like at least like a year and a half, 2 years. Like that's just me. I feel like that's a little bit more time to kind of now you take the mask off and you let your guard down a little bit before you just say, okay, we 6 months. Yeah, I know. Let's get married.
I'm saying men be knowing. Go ahead, Dana.
Yeah, obviously, it goes without saying that it's different for everybody, but I think that once you reach a certain age, like you're not, the wall isn't built quite as high, the guard isn't up quite as long. You're not trying to present your representative. You're trying to, if you truly want to be married, if you truly want to be in a long-term relationship, you're trying to get to it. So you're not going to give them a bunch of bullshit, and hopefully they're not giving you a bunch of bullshit. So I would think that the process of getting to know one another and determining whether or not this is someone you can see yourself with forever, that process in my mind it would go a lot faster than it would if we were, in our early 30s or if we were in our 20s, something like that. We got time to waste. Our parents are aging. We got real life shit to deal with. Nobody wants to go through this shit together. We trying to have kids fast. Some of us. We don't have time for all of this bullshit. So let's figure it out. Let's make a decision and let's work towards something, or let's move on and peace be unto you.
And I'll add to that, Dana. I think it more so depends on the conversations that y'all are having. Like I get time restraint, Nay, I do, but at the same time, y'all could be spending a lot of time together. Y'all could be having some deep ass conversations, really get to the core of that person. So I think 6 months is doable. Like 6 months to, about 3. That's it. That's all I got. Because
it's not improbable. I don't think it's
I think it's possible.
I don't think it's so far-fetched anymore.
Right.
After a certain age.
What do you think? Like you take a rental car. It's actually a misnomer that people be destroying rental cars. Back when I first graduated college, I worked at Enterprise, and people know don't dent it, don't scratch it, bring it back with fuel in it, or else it costs you money. So that's actually not super true. Like to buy a rental car is not terrible, in terms of just the value of them. But when you own a car, what happens? Do you love it at first, and then you start to put trash in that motherfucker? It's not dirt, it's not as clean anymore. So
the value goes down a little bit. But yeah.
So even though Nay is saying, you get to know a person, yada yada. Once you own it. Do things change regardless?
Yeah, I like what Tay said because it varies. As long as you guys are having that conversation, you might know in 6 months. You might know in a year. You might know 2-3 years. I don't know, but I guess it does depend on the type of relationship you're in and how you guys communicate and the time you spend together, and you're kind of getting to know each other a little bit better. So yeah, I would agree with that too.
True impact with the $10. Many women have put time in, and when he gets sick or should he pass you, are treated like trash, kicked out the hospital, not mentioned on the obituary. his fam come get his stuff, put out a house, apartment, etc. Yo, True Impact, she gotta be older than y'all a little bit, I think. Or maybe not, but I just like this shit is sis, this some shit Ma would say, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yo,
That's very true.
damn. Black America with the $2. Men know right away. We don't shop like that. That's true. We do shop pretty. Mr. Britt with the $2. My wife got hit with my BS after the proposal.
Wow.
Yo, Mr. Britt, you just read my mind. That's what I was trying to say a little bit. Savage with the $2. I was married in 10 months of dating. Unpopular truth was popping. Dana, is marriage your goal?
Yes, that's my goal.
That's her goal. Okay. Interesting. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most.